Alrighty, traders. Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to today's video. Today, are we about to see a move to 50,000 Dow? That's exactly what I want to share with you in today's video. I want to share with you the pattern. I've been looking at the big monthly charts, the weekly charts. There's an overall pattern that I'm seeing right now, guys, and it's really setting up, and it's quite amazing. Now, this video, guys, this video right now is all about geared what could happen over the next probably 1, maybe 2 years, right? Or maybe even the next 6 to 12 months. It's just the timing I don't know of, how I don't know of, but the destination I'm actually quite confident of, right? And that's always the hardest thing about doing these videos, right? It's like 50,000 Dow, here we go. But here's the thing. When we are analyzing these markets right now, right? When we're analyzing their charts, if we want to, in order for us, one thing that's important to understand, right? Think about this. If we tried to capitalize on what I'm about to say here right now, one, we must accept that it's not going to just go straight to, it's not going to go from 40 to 50 straight away. It may, right? Two, we'd never know the timing of things, right? So we could get a 5 or 10% drop first before what? We could get a 40,000 Dow down to 37,000 Dow first, and then a move to the upside. Makes sense, guys? So I really want to share with you a bit of a blatant statement around this here. And this is not meant for today, okay? This is just a general overview of where I believe we're going. This is big picture, right? I'm going to show you monthly charts and show you weekly charts, but every single day we paint a bar, or paint a candlestick. You know what? We're developing uptrends and downtrends and so on and so forth. So that's what I want to share with you. So let's actually get straight into today's video, because I think this is going to really interest you. So the really big thing, guys, that I've been looking at this chart here. As you can see, this is the Dow Jones Industrial chart, the DJ, right? And I'm looking at the weekly charts here. And let me take everything off the screen here for a minute. And let me now go back to the monthly charts. And here's a few things here, right? So here's a few things. What actually happens is this, okay? So when we're trading the markets, there's a thing called a 50% Fibonacci retracement. And it's set to this, okay? There is trend analysis and there is strong trend, right? So when we're actually doing strong trend in the market, here's the thing. If the market does retrace 50% or less and then continue up, then guess what? It's actually known as a strong trend moving average. So let me explain something here. So the rule number one for me is what? Trend analysis, right? The trend is your friend until the end. So, and the thing is, I really want you to understand, it's so much better to try to find a trend and try to jump on that. Just look at this market here, right? When has been the best time to be in the markets with the overall trend, right? So here's the thing. Sometimes we have an upward trend, right? Up, down, right? So therefore we have, let me do this here, up, and I'm going to do this here, right? So look at this here, right? We're making what? We're making a high, low. We even made a high, low here. Now here's the thing, right? Here's a really interesting thing that I really want to share with you. Looking at all of this here, right, and looking at what we're seeing here, guess what? We saw what? We can actually see that this whole level from here to here, you do a retracement, and that there's around the 50% Fibonacci level. The reason why I'm bringing this up to you is, again, looking at the real big picture, like what's happening now, and for me, guys, I'm always trying to see the forest from the trees, right? Whether I'm looking back through history of the last couple of hundred years through Ray Dalio stuff, or I'm looking back over time to say, okay, every time we've had inflation problems, what has been the common theme around inflationary problems over the last 100 years? And by the way, if you want to know what the common characteristics around inflationary problems are, is we always have two major spikes. We have a first inflationary spike, and then it comes down, and then it causes a recession. And then we have a second spike, and the secondary spike of the inflation is always a lot bigger than the first spike. That's not what this whole video is about here, but just a bit of FYI. So if you guys are worried about inflation now, right, wait till you see the next inflation, which is probably going to happen around the 27, 28, 29 period. That's when we're going to see the next big massive inflation, right? So the purpose of me saying what I'm saying here right now is that for me personally, is that I'm always going back over time and I'm looking for those things that repeat, right? To give me a good sense of what's going on and how these markets work. So the thing for me is that I always know by looking at these markets, and again, I'm trying to see the forest from the trees, right? So right now, this is a monthly chart. I'm saying, okay, this is a monthly charts right now, and the weekly charts I'm going to bring up in a minute. Is there a picture here? Is there something here that is actually building up right now that's speaking to me? And as I say before, one thing I'm really seeing right now is that we've got a very strong trend right now. We've got a very strong trend right now off the back of what? Doing nothing. Now, if you watched my few videos if you watched yesterday's videos, I talked about how when the market goes sideways like this, what does that mean? It's building a lot of energy, right? And generally when it builds a lot of energy, when we do start to break out, we tend to actually go for a big breakout, right? Now that's not 100% of the time. There are times when it doesn't and it's false breakouts. So, but on a general rule of thumb, yesterday I talked about how that sideways period is the energy period. So this is what I'm talking about here right now. Let's combine these two together. Strong trend, which is what? A retracement 50% and then a continuation. And then retracement, and then on the back of the 50%, then we also go through a sideways period, which is building energy. And then what we're going to talk about here is then using some sort of an extension tool to see, okay, where is it likely to go? So check this out. Here we go. So first thing is what? 50% Fibonacci level. Again, this is just the Dow. This is the monthly charts here, guys. So if the Dow goes down tomorrow 1%, right? Don't shoot the messenger, right? So look at this here. From the low to the high point. So step number one was what? The trend analysis. Remember I said before? Step number one, trend analysis. Step number two, which is seeing the phases when we're doing nothing, which is building a lot of energy. And step number three is about the extension of where it's likely to go to, right? So we can see here, right, from that low point there to that high point, look at there. It was actually less than 50%. Less than 50%. And then the market continued, right? Check that out, right? Really, 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 really powerful. So we have this through here, right? And so there. So, but also check this out, right? Now, as I've said before in the past, whenever we do get these periods, look at this here. Look what the Dow Jones has done through here. Pretty much nothing, right? Nothing since basically when? Pretty much nothing since basically maybe around the middle of 2021. And now, just now over the last few months, what's that, last 4 or 5 months, the monthly charts, right? Look at this here. How amazing is it? And we've just broken out. We've just broken out and now we're going sideways, right? So again, guys, I must repeat myself. This is a monthly chart, so it's going to take time, right? We're going to go up and down, up and down. As I said before, like, I'm confident where this is going to go. Timing and how, I don't know, right? So that's the first thing there, as I said before. So the first thing, as you can see, whenever I get these, look at this here, really long extended period of time. Now this here was, what's that there? That was 2014 to basically 2017. What's that? 1, 2, basically 3 years of doing nothing. And then after 3 years of doing nothing, when we broke out, guess what? We went for a big move. Now again, that doesn't look like much, does it? But that there was a 40% move over 1 year, right? A 40% move. And that, we're just talking about the indices here. So the first thing is retracement. Then how did I get the $50,000 number? How did I get the $50,000 number? Here's the thing. Check this out. So we use, if I say, okay, I want to use an extension tool. So the extension tool is the way I go from the bottom to the top. And then I want to bring it up to here, to the bottom, right? And this is more like a one-to-one extension tool. And as you can see, the one-to-one extension tool is around the 48,000, and pretty much around the round numbers is pretty much exactly what, you know, if you look at this here, obviously that was around 30,000. We had a lot of work. Yeah, obviously around 20,000, right? We had a lot of work as well too. So the thing for me is I believe 50,000 is going to be a really, really, really significant number. And you know what the amazing thing is, guys? I remember, and put a comment in the section below if you remember this. I remember when people were freaking out about 20,000, right? You know, there was videos about there about 20,000 Dow and then it crashed, and here we are now 40,000 Dow, right? So it's and now looking at, we're actually just coming out of this phase, is we're now likely to hit what, 48 to 50,000 Dow on there. And so you can see here that we're definitely really nicely developing this level through here. And you can see how that just by looking at this, and let me show you this here, right? Let me just bring this up here. So you can see here, look at this, right? So the first thing, what do we have, right? Here we go here, right? So 50,000 Dow coming, right? 50,000 Dow coming. Let me actually make that maybe just like a red, right? And let me just bring this over to here. There we go, like that through there. And let me just make this a lot bigger, right? So what we're doing here is what? I'm just really highlighting the importance of what I believe is coming through here, right? So we can see this through here. Let me just bring this up through here. And the really big thing is what I'm sort of going through here, right? So let's actually bring this up here and let's make this really big for you guys, right? So really big. Let's actually see if that will be maybe a bit too much, right? So maybe that'll be just a little bit too much from there. So 50,000 Dow possibly coming. Actually, I believe it is coming, right? 50,000 Dow coming from here. And we can see how that's obviously through there, from that level from there. And as you can see, right, what did we say before? We can say we get through there and through there, and then we also had what? This here, which is what? That's the black line there, which is what? This was a strong bounce off 50% fib, right? So you see this, see what I'm doing here, guys, right? So I'm really building this picture for you. And in the meantime, I'm also doing my thumbnail for you guys, right? So strong bounce off 50% Fibonacci level. You see that through there, right? So you see really strong bounce off of, that's off, right? Off, that's of. You don't need how to spell, right? So there you go. Strong bounce off 50% Fibonacci level from there. From right there, from there to there, as you can see. And then what else do we have is, as you can see, we actually have a significant major trend line coming up through there, I would say. And let's actually make that purple from there to there. So see that through there, traders? So this, and then as you can see, right, look and see what I'm doing here. I love it when the market's closed and I'm not looking at it from a money perspective, or I'm not looking at it from a trading opposite. I'm not looking at saying, how can I trade this? I'm looking at it from saying, what's going on here? Like, what is really going on here? And how do I take advantage of what's actually going on here, right? And what's actually happening. And so as you can see, traders, that the overall picture here right now really is coming down to that. And again, you can see obviously what I've done here. So the three things is, obviously the first thing is strong trend, which is 50% or less. Then we go through a phase of when the market's done nothing for a while. And now we're going through that phase where it's just broken out, right? It's just broken out now. And so I believe over the next 6 to 12 months, maybe I'd say within a couple of years maximum, I believe we're going to make our way up towards the 50,000. I just don't know how it's going to happen. Are we going to go down for 4 or 5%? We're obviously going to have our corrections along the way, right? So anyway, traders, hope this helps you out. 50,000 Dow, it's coming.